Welcome all. So we'll see the topic the surface irrigation method. So in that topic we will cover the what is surface irrigation, introduction, types of surface irrigation. In that different types are there. Out of that we will see the first types, that is the furrow irrigation method, and its advantage, disadvantage, adaptability and characteristic, types of furrow irrigation and design consideration. So first we will see the definition. Surface irrigation method refers to the water application through gravity flow to cultivated land. The term surface irrigation refers to the broad class of irrigation method in which the water is distributed over the field by overland flow. The water application either the entire field by means of the uncontrolled flooding or the part of the field by means of the furrow, basin, border, strip. So in short, the surface irrigation method is supplying of water to the field by means of the gravity flow only. Okay. There are some other surface irrigation methods. So we'll see in the classification. So this is the classification of surface irrigation method. So in this, the different method of surface irrigation is one of this furrow irrigation method. So it is further classified into different type, that is the deep furrow types, corrugation type, then straight furrow and contour furrow. The next type is basin type. In it, depending upon the shape of the basin, it is further classified into contour rings, then rectangular. The next topic is border irrigation method, is further classified into straight border and contour border. There are some other surface irrigation method which you might be know, that is the sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation method. That is also surface irrigation, but in this the only classified only those who have the irrigation based on the gravity flow. Then, as you know that the drip and sprinkler is based on the pressurized irrigation system. So we will see in your syllabus only the gravity flow method. So this figure depicts the different furrow irrigation, different surface irrigation method in which the furrow, border, corrugation method. This is the check basin method and border ditches. So first we will see the first type is furrow irrigation method. So as per its name, so water is applied to the land through the series of long narrow channels. It's called as furrow. Okay. So furrow system, you have know that there is a furrow and the ridges. So crop will be planted in this ridges and water is applied in this furrow, so that the water will be get absorbed by this root of the plant from this furrow. So it is furrow irrigation method. It is used in the irrigation of the row crop with furrow development between the crop rows in planting and the cultivation process. The size and shape of this furrow depending upon the which type of crop is grown, what type of equipment we are using to making these furrows, and what is the spacing between this row crops. So it is depend upon the what type of crop you are taking. So on the basis of that, this spacing will be vary. Then next point is the water is applied by running small stream in the furrow between the crop rows. Then next, the water flow in the furrow infiltrate the soils, spread laterally and reaches the root of the plants between this furrow. So in this explains the how the water will be reaches to the root zone. So water is applied in the row, this furrow, so it will get infiltrated into the soil and spread laterally and reaches to the root of the plants between this furrow. And next is the length of time of irrigation. Using this furrow irrigation method, so it is depend upon mostly the what is the amount of water required to replenish the root zone. So it's mostly depend upon the what kind of water requirement is required for this specific crop. And then next is the infiltration rate of that specific soil, what type of soil is there. So infiltration rate will be vary, and the rate of the lateral spread of water in that solid. So depending upon all these points, so we will decide the length of irrigation, that is the time of irrigation. Then now we will see what is the main advantage of this system. Okay. So water in the furrow contract only one half to the one fifth of the land's surface, thereby reducing the puddlings and the casting of the soils and mostly the evaporation losses. So this is the advantage. Then early sowing is possible, which is the distinct advantage in the heavy soils. It can be safely adopted on the slopy lands by opening the furrows across the slope. So water will be flowed due to the gravity. And this method reduces the labor requirement in land preparations and irrigation. As in the different method, we require to make the first uniform land and land leveling. So here, by making simply furrow, we can reduce this cost of preparation for the land. The next advantage is the compared to the check basin method, there is no wastage of land in this field. Okay, so these are the main advantage of this method over the traditional flooding method. Okay, then next we will see what is the disadvantage. Okay, so it required the skilled labor to operate. Okay, then possibly of the intra-flow furrow irrigation. So the water will be flow only through the this furrow. So depending upon the slope, so it may causes the serious erosion if the excess water flow over these ridges. Okay. So this erosion will cause the loss of fertile soil. Okay, so we have to take the care of that. That furrow slope will be minimum. Then next disadvantage is difficult to carry on the mechanical operations. So due to the preparation of these different ridges and furrows, so it will abstract the movement of different agriculture machineries. Okay, so this is the disadvantage. Then last one is not suitable in coarse texture soil with high infiltration rate. Okay, so you know the poor texture soil, that is the sandy soil. So in sandy soil the infiltration of water will be more. So there is a problem of uniform distribution of irrigation water in this furrow. Okay, so we have to, it is not suitable for this sandy soil, so we have to avoid that. So these are the disadvantages. Next slide. Now we'll see the what will the adaptability means, at what where we can adopt this method. Okay, so when to use the furrow irrigation method. So furrow irrigation is suitable for wide range of soil types, crops and land slopes. So it can be adopted on the most of the soil types and except the sandy soil and the different crops and land slope. Suitable crops. So it is suitable for the row crops such as the maize, sunflower, sugarcane, soybean, etc. Then the crop that will be damaged by the indentions such as the tomatoes, vegetable, potatoes, bean, etc. Okay. So fruit trees, so it is very much adapted for the fruit trees such as citrus, grapes, okay, which is mostly planted in these rows. Then broadcast crops, so here we will adapt the corrugation method, okay, such as wheats. So what is corrugation method, we will see in the next slide. Then suitable slopes. Okay, so uniform flat or gentle slopes are preferred. As we know, the water is flow based on the gravity flow. So we have the uniform and gentle slope. If the slope is more, there will be the chances of erosion. Okay, so this should not be the exceed the 0.1 0.5% slope. Usually 0.05% furrow slope is provided to assist the drainage, flowing irrigation or excessive rainfall with the high intensity. On undulating land furrow should we follow the line contours. So there will be the one of the types that is a contour furrow. So we will apply it in undulating lands, that is the contour furrow. Then the soil suitability. So furrow can be used on the most of the soil types, very coarse sand as we discussed earlier. the sandy, except sandy soils, it is suitable for in the most of the soil. The soil that crust easily are specially suited for the furrow irrigation. Now we will see the what are the types of furrow irrigation. So this types is further classified on the basis of first is the classification based on the alignment. So on the alignment basis it is classified into two types, straight furrow and contour furrow. The next is based on the size and shape of the furrow, it is further classified into deep furrow and furrowation furrow. So we will see first classification on the basis of alignment. So that is the first one is straight furrow. So as it is name suggests, so straight furrow means so it is a straight furrow are laid on the prevailing land slope across the slope. They are best suited to the sites where the land slope does not exceed the 0.75%. The area of intense rainfall, however, the furrow grade should not exceed the 0.5% so as to minimize the erosion hazards. Okay, so this point you have to remember. So this is the specification of this straight furrow. So in this figure we can see the furrow and this is the ridge. So crops are cultivated on this ridges and water is provided through this furrow. Okay, so here the another diagram you can see. So this is the main channel and water is diverted to the different furrow. The, the range in the furrow slope for efficient irrigation in the different soil types are the same as those of the recommended for the border type of irrigation furrow. Irrigation. The fine texture soils heavy having very low infiltration rates, the furrow are usually level lengthwise. With the level furrow, the same stream is maintained until the required amount of water is applied. The water is ponded in the furrows until it is absorbed by the soil. So it is depending upon the infiltration capacity of the soil, so it will take the time to it's absorbed by the soil. Then next type is contour furrow. Okay, so as it is name suggests, the contour, it means the contour furrows carries the water across the sloping field rather than the down to the slope. The contour furrows are curved to fit the topography of the land, so it is the advantage version of this straight furrow. So furrow are given a gentle slope along with its the length, as in the case of the graded borders of the field supply channels runs down the land slope to feed the individual furrows and must be provided with the erosion control structure. The limitation of the straight furrow irrigations are overcome by this method. Contouring to including the slope lands, the light soil can be irrigated successfully across the slope up to 5%. Contour furrow may be used on the most of the soil types except on the light sandy soils and the soil that cracks. Okay, so due to the cracks, the water will be infiltrate more and it will problem for the uniform depth of the irrigation. Okay. The ridges between the furrow in the sandy soil may breaks and wash out, the overloading the furrow below, which also breaks. So this may continue all the way down the slope, causing heavy erosion to the damage. So as we earlier discussed that, so sandy soil, so it is not suitable for irrigation. Okay. The soil that cracks provides the channel for the water, causing a similar downslope furrow breaks. Hence the contour furrows have only limited use on the steep slopes in the sandy soils and the heavy black soil. Now the second classification is based on this size and spacing of the furrow. Okay, so on this basis, so it is further divided into the first one is deep furrow. So deep furrow, so is nothing but that as per the furrow. So only thing is that here the depth of the furrow is more. Okay, so which is called as deep furrow. In general, the small plant needs the small furrow, like the vegetable needs the furrow of 7.5 to 12.5 centimeter, while the same row crops like orchards needs much deeper. So this deep furrow is applied for the orchard crops. Okay. Then corrugation method. So what is corrugation method? So it is based on this, classified on the basis of size and shape. Okay. So is another the same as the furrow irrigation, only thing is that here is size is very small. Furrow soil is size is very small. So corrugation irrigation consists of the running water in the small furrows called as corrugation. So that small furrow is called as corrugation, which direct the flow down the slope. The water moves through the several corrugations at the time. Unlike in the deep furrows, water in corrugation overtap them during the flow. The corrugation irrigation is well adapted for the medium and heavy texture soil, particularly if the soils tend to break and crust after the irrigation. Okay. So corrugations are made using the suitable implements for the purpose, which is called as corrugator. The corrugator is a simple wooden frame with the short length of the circular bamboo fitted on it. So it is drawn over the well prepared field, forming the corrugations on the surface. So in this figure we can see, so this is an implement which is used to make the corrugation, which is called as corrugator. Okay. So in this we can see, so it is used the simple bamboo to make this corrugator, which is situated at the specific spacing. Okay. So corrugation should be spaced such that the lateral movement of water will provide an adequate irrigation between these corrugations by the time sufficient water has been added to refill this soil profile. So corrugation method is useful in irrigation a small grain crop, especially wheat. So corrugations are V-shaped, U-shaped channels about the 6 to 10 centimeter deep, spacing between this 40 to 75 centimeter apart. Okay. So this is the U type of channel, corrugator channel, and this is a V type. Now we will see the what is the design consideration. Okay, so what are the points we should consider while the furrow irrigation. So efficient irrigation by the furrow method is obtained by selecting the proper combination of the spacing, length, slope of the furrow, size of the stream, and duration of water of application. Okay. So spacing, it is the spacing between the two furrow. Okay. So what will be the total length of the furrow? So this length is mostly depend upon the size of the field. Then slope of the furrow, it will decide the velocity of the flowing water and the size of the stream. Size of the stream is depending upon the what is the width of this furrow. Okay. Then duration of water application. So we'll see one by one. First point we will see that furrow spacing. Okay. So spacing, space to fit the crop grown and type of machine used for the planting and cultivation. So it is first decided on the basis of the which type of crop you are growing. Okay. So what will be their standard spacing and what is the machine you are using, bullock drawn or tractor driven. Okay. So on the basis of that we will to decide the proper spacing. Furrows should be spaced close enough to ensure the waters spread to side into the ridges and root zone of the crop to replenish the soil moisture uniformly. So here we will see the in this figure you can see how the spacing, okay, spacing between the furrow is important. Okay, so this spacing between the furrow we have discussed that is depend upon the crop and the implement, and also it is depend upon the type of the soil. Okay, the spacing of the furrow is influenced by mostly the soil types and the cultivation practices. Okay, for example, to obtain the complete wetting of the soil to the depth of 1 to 1.5 meters, okay, if we want the depth of the water irrigation is 1 to 1.5, then if the uh, sandy soil is there, the spacing we have to keep between 50 to 60 centimeter. Okay, as you know that in the sandy soil the infiltration rate will be more. Okay, and if that is the soil is clay soil, then you have to change the spacing. The spacing between the two adjacent row of furrow is up to the 1 meter or more. Okay, because in the clay soil, okay, so water get absorbed more, in lateral movement is more. Okay, so in sandy soil vertical movement is more. So in this figure you can see, so different wetting pattern of the furrow depending upon the soil type. So you can see here the vertical movement is more. So this is the sandy soil. Okay, so here is a sandy loam soil. Okay, and this is a mostly the clay soil. Okay, so here lateral movement will be more. Okay, okay, so now this picture will depict that the what is the importance of this spacing. Okay, if the spacing between the adjoining furrow is too wide, so it will show, see, if the spacing is more, so crop planted on this ridge, okay, so this is the area of this root zone, so it will, this spread area, so this is wetting pattern. Okay, so it will not able to wet this root zone area. Okay, because the spacing is too much wide. Okay, so it is important points. We have to consider all the things in your mind. What is the crop implement and mostly this soil type. So depending upon that soil type, you have to see the what is its extent of this wetting pattern. Okay, so how much extent this furrow will wet the soil. Okay, so that's the root zone is completely get wetted. Okay, so that this crop will get the optimum moisture. So therefore the proper spacing is important. Okay, so furrow length. So proper furrow length depends upon the hydraulic conductivity of this soil. Okay. Then furrow must be short on porous sandy soils than on the clay soil. Okay. So depending upon the soil types, we have to decide the length. Okay, because we have as we have discussed, in the sandy soil the lateral movement, vertical movement is more. Okay, so if the length is more, of length of the furrow is more, so there will be no uniform distribution of the water. It means that depth of the irrigation will be not more. Okay, so from head end to the tail end the water will be not distributed uniformly. Okay, then furrow slope. Okay, so as we know the slope will decide the velocity of the flow. The slope controls the speed at which the water can flow. Okay, so a minimum slope of 0.05% is needed to ensure the surface drainage. Okay, as the furrow grade increases, the rate of infiltration slow down. Okay, so as the furrow grade is increases, means the slow, it will increase the velocity. Increase in the velocity, it means that it will the reduce the opportunity time of that water to get infiltrate into the soils. Okay, and another disadvantage is that it will increase the velocity. So in increased velocity will also erode the soil. Stream size. So stream size, larger the stream size, larger the furrow must be contain the flow. So stream size is depend upon the width of the furrow, and this it will be decide the flow of the discharge of this flow furrow. So usually it is varies from the 0.5 to 2 liter per hour. The maximum stream size that will not cause the erosion depends upon the furrow slope. It is advised not to stream size larger than the 3 liter per second. So it is recommended that the so you must keep the discharge less than the 3.3 liter per second. for uniform water distribution, as the water reaches to the lower end of the furrow, the stream is reduced or cut back. So in this, in order to maintain the uniform distribution water, so we will uh, reduce the stream after some time, okay, so that it will be the reduce the erosion of the soil, okay, and it will allows the water to reaches to the tail of the end, so it will slow down the velocity, so the water will be reaches to the stream or cut back. So in this cut back means we will cut the flow or allows to uh, discharge to slow down, so that it will reaches to the tail of this furrow, so that it will get the uniform distribution, okay. So cutback stream allows until the required amount of water has been applied, so that it will the get the required amount of depth of irrigation from head to the tail of this furrow. Okay, so like the spacing, the stream size is also deciding factor for the wetting pattern, okay, or amount of water required, the specific moisture in the root zone, okay. So in this figure you can see the stream size is very slow, okay. So this is the furrow, so in this you can see the very low discharge will be there, so it will be get the less infiltration, okay, depending upon this flow, so it will in wetting the small amount of area in this furrow. So this wetting pattern will not sufficient to wet the area of this root zone area, okay. So size of the stream is important pattern, okay. So it will be the sufficient so as to give the sufficient moisture in this root zone ridges, okay. So it will has to be sufficient water so that it will get infiltrate down and lateral movement, and it get absorbed in this ridges, okay. So see, another pattern is here. If the size is too large, so what happen? So this is the root zone area, so here we can see the wetting pattern of this adjacent layer, adjacent furrow, it's get overlap, okay. So due to this overlap, so it will happens the over irrigation, okay. So here the overlap, due to the overlap, the overlapping, so it will be the over irrigation, the again the uh, excess irrigation, okay. So it will wastage of the water. So we have to decide that the flow in this furrow, it must be the non-erosive flow. Non-erosive means it will, this velocity should not be the create the erosion, okay. So the maximum non-erosive flow rate is estimated by this following empirical equation, that is Qm is equal to zero point 0.6 divided by S. So this S is the slope of the furrow in percent, and Qm is the maximum non-erosive stream, and this unit is liter per second, okay. So next is the irrigation depth, okay. So we have to decide the depth of the irrigation. So the average depth of water applied during the irrigation can be calculated from the following relationship for the furrow irrigation. So depth of irrigation, D is the depth of irrigation, is equal to Q into 360 into T. So Q is the stream size, okay. So it is units in liter per second, and T is the time duration of the irrigation, it is in hour, and divided by W into L. So W is the furrow spacing in meter, and L is the length of the furrow, it is also in meter. So 360 is the conversion factor, so that we will get the answer depth of irrigation in centimeter, okay. So we will see this calculation with the help of one example problem. So see this problem, the furrow of 90-meter long, okay, and space 75 centimeter apart are irrigated by the initial furrow stream of 2 lph. the initial furrow stream reaches to the lower end of the field in the 50 minutes. Okay, and the size of the stream was then reduced to the 0.5 lph. The cutback stream continued for the 1 hour, and the estimated average estimate the average depth of irrigation. So we have to estimate the average depth using the previous formula. So in this we have to calculate the average depth in two parts. So first is that the head of the initial stream size, okay, average depth of the irrigation by the initial furrow stream. Okay, so using the same formula, Q into 360 into T divided by WL. Okay, so you see here the Q discharge for the initial furrow stream is 2 lph. Okay, then 360 into 50, so 50 minutes is given here. So required units is hour, so converted into the hour divided by 60, and width is given is 0.75 centimeter, we are converted into its meter, 0.75, and 90 meter. Okay, so we'll get the depth in initial furrow stream is 8.8 centimeter. Okay, uh, now we have to calculate the depth of irrigation by cutback stream. Okay, so here the stream size in the cutback stream is reduced to the 0.5 lph. Okay, so in this same formula we have to change the Q, so that is 0.5 360 into hour. So here is given the cutback stream is continued for 1 hour. Okay, so we have to take this 1. Okay, so this thing will be changed only the Q and T. So cutback stream discharge is 0.5 per 5 lph and time is 1 hour. Another are same, so width is 0.75 and the length of the furrow is 90 meter. So we will get the 2.2 centimeter. Okay, centimeter. Okay, now we have to calculate. So this is the average depth at the initial furrow, then cutback stream. Now we have to calculate the overall, that is the net average depth of irrigation. So it is nothing but the addition summation of this both. Okay, so that is 8.88 and 2.66. So we will get the net depth of irrigation is 11.44 centimeter. Okay, so while calculations, please take care of this units. Okay, so if you simply take the whatever the given in this problem without conversion, so we will get the incorrect answer, and also mention the unit at each step of your calculation. Okay, so this is, so you will try with the other problem, and if you have any question regarding this presentation, please drop a comment. I will reply to that. So thank you. Thank you. I hope you will understand this topic. If you have any query, please message to me. Drop a comment. I will reply to that. Thank you. Thank you very much.